this idea that you could go somewhere else in the world where women are so much better.
Right. And all your problems will be solved.
It's such a dumb one, okay? Because if you go to places like Colombia or Russia or wherever you can think of where women are docile and they respect men and they serve their men, their master, that type of thing, because that's what these guys are thinking they want, is a complicit woman that's just going to obey his every command. It is true that in some of those cultures, you will see that behavior. But in those cultures also, you will see extremely masculine men who, and not masculine, not even necessarily in a good way, but who are very demanding and dominant, aggressive, right? And so in those cultures, because women are usually suppressed and they don't have any other option, they do obey those men. They do.
Right.
Okay. Now, if you go there and you're a weak, we didn't talk about men in America, but if you're a weak wuss of a guy,
which is the majority,
right? And especially if you have to leave your own country to go and try to find a wife. So, okay. And you go there and you meet a woman there, you think she's going to respect you as soon as she figures out that you're a pushover, that you're not this guy, that there's you haven't been raised in that culture.
Enough.
Yeah, you're not manly enough. She's gonna run your ass over because she's worse than American women in the sense that she will sense that
whatever
weakness.
She can. Like, that's what they don't understand, is that women in those situations will do whatever they need to do because it's about survival.
Right.
When you're with an aggressive man who represses you, it's about survival.
Right.
So when they are with a man that they can walk all over and do whatever they want, she's going to take lead because she actually was around a manly man, an aggressive man. I mean, like you said, it's not masculine in the way that it should be, the correct way.
Right.
But that has rubbed off on her. Exactly. She just can't use it towards him.
Right.
But what makes you think she won't use it towards you? And my thing is, too, that a lot of what these men talk about when they talk about passport bros is countries where women don't speak English. It's never about the UK. It's never about France or Spain or, those countries where they might be more inclined to speak English. Never about Greece. It's never about, Italy. Right. It's about countries where, like you said, they're used to these hyper-aggressive sort of men.
Exactly.
That don't usually speak a lot of English.
Right.
And so they want to go find one of these women that seem more, reserved and won't talk as much because they don't even know English.
Right, exactly.
What they don't realize, too, that in all of these countries, a lot of these women as well that have been repressed want to come to America.
Right, exactly.
So that they're not repressed. And so they will marry you to come to America.
Right.
And you're so afraid, these men, you're so afraid of a woman taking half of your stuff in a divorce.
Right.
And you're not afraid that a foreign woman who marries you to come to America will take half of your stuff in a divorce?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. And you know what? And you think they're not good at playing the game?
Right.
They know the game.
They don't live in America. They have to do what they have to do to survive.
Right.
And a lot of things over in different countries are legal that aren't legal here.
Right.
That women do to survive.
And so you're going to go over there. Maybe you go over there and you get duped. The woman's treats you like a king. She acts like she respects you and whatever. Or maybe she even just thinks that you're tough until she figures out not.
Right.
And then you come back to America with her, right? She waits the 9 months or whatever the seasoning period is to get the
green card
or whatever, And then she's like, first of all, one thing that happens is she might have just been duping you from the beginning, which is most likely the case. So then her true colors come out and she's like, you're not going to stop me.
And now you're married to her.
And then, or second, she gets exposed to American culture, which it's dumb to think that everyone in the world hasn't been exposed to this culture.
Right.
It's like, you think people don't have the internet? You think that they're not watching the same podcasts and watching the same movies and stuff? Like, maybe they have a little bit more traditional values, but they know about it. It's no secret, okay? So, but let's say that she doesn't know about it, or, now she has friends and they're these trashy American women. So you think that she's not going to be like, oh, hey, now
I can do this now.
Right, exactly. So it's just short-sighted thinking. It's dumb. It's not going to solve the problem.
They need to watch 90 Day Fiance. And granted, I know it's a TLC show and I know it's a show.
Yeah.
But that also happens.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come here and say that, like, if you went on a vacation and you met a woman in a different country and you actually fell in love with her, that it would not work out.
No,
that's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
I'm talking about the men who are trying to take the easy way out by going to find a woman that has been repressed, who probably doesn't speak English very well, and they just want a husband and they just want to be married and they want to come to America. When I see these comments, I'm just like, how are men logical if they're not thinking this through?
And you cannot you cannot divert around female nature, right? So in a lot of these countries, some of them not as much anymore, but if you look at your history, what you'll find is that a huge percentage of women were forced to undergo the clitoral circumcision, okay? To various degrees, there's 3 different kinds of it, but at the highest degree, they take everything and so it's shut, like basically. So, and why do men do this in these countries? In order to control women, because they're afraid of women's sexual desire. And they know that they can't get this woman to desire them exclusively, so they have to enforce it
but that's
through
what these
actual
men
force.
Want. That's what these passport bros think they want.
But the thing that I'm saying about this, and I agree with you, is that you cannot, you see that these guys have to use violence and control you have to actually learn how to really attract a woman and how to get her to follow your leadership because she wants to. Not because you're making her, not because the culture makes her, not because her parents told her you say yes and obey the man that you're with. It's because she wants, because she believes that you can take care of her and that she sees you as someone to look up to. And you can't get around that. Because if you could, then why in these cultures do they have to resort to this kind of violence, horrible violence against women?
Right.
If it was so easy. It's not.
Well, I would want to ask these men too, that are they looking for love? Because my thing is, this is an easy way to get a woman, right? Like, these women have been repressed. Here comes this American man that wants her and will treat her better. And she's going to, be like, yeah, okay, I'm getting on that boat and I can come to America. Okay.
Right.
But as a man, I'm like, if I were them, how would I know that this woman actually cares about me?
Right.
And do they just not care about that? And then I would also be like, well, then why are you even getting married? So someone will do your laundry so you can boss somebody around?
Right.
And you never know if this woman likes you for you.
Right. Or the opportunity you provide her.
Yeah, or what you're giving her.
And see, if you think about things transactionally, then you're like, okay, well, I provide money and she provides sex or whatever, or domestic chores, or her feminine. It's you can't think of things transactionally. And I used to tell. What you talked about the like clitoral mutilation thing, how that cannot make sex pleasurable for a woman. No, that's the point. That's
but
the
I'm
point.
saying too
that's what
that
they do.
So even if you were with a woman like that and she is having sex with you, she's not going to be enjoying it.
Right.
Like, she's not going to be able to be really into it because it will hurt her.
Right.
And that's what you want? Like, do you just want a hole?
Well,
that's what I'm trying to figure out here. And I mean, we can't really without talking to, I guess, somebody who believes in this, but what is it that they want? Like, are they actually looking for love, which I believe is the truth, because no matter what men say, everybody's looking for love.
Right.
For someone who loves them.
Exactly.
Unconditionally and shows them that.
And wants them. Yeah.
Right. And they think that they can get that by going this easy way, because a woman will just throw herself at him because he's American and, and then whatever in their mind that they think is going to happen. But also at the same time, it sounds like they just want these things
Right.
that aren't going to give them the love that they're actually looking for. And that's why you see a lot of people talk about passport bros, but how many passport bros do you actually know?
Right. Exactly.
Very few.
Yeah. Very few. Yeah.
Very few. And like I said, the 90-day fiance thing shows that
Yeah.
you can even go through this and end up in the situation that we're talking about, like finding some woman or some man in a different country and then getting married quickly just to lock them down.
Right.
And then now you're ending up with somebody that potentially conned you, that you don't actually have a lot of things in common with, can barely communicate with. And so you don't have an actual connection or love relationship.
Right.
Or like, yeah, maybe it would work out if you actually had the right intentions. But people who are sitting here saying, hey, let's be passport bros, they don't have good intentions.
Better than